What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why I am getting SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. This is a video series I do where I talk about an upcoming game and talk about whether I'm getting it, not getting it, or I'm somewhere in between, kind of give my reasons and just my general thoughts, as we get closer and closer. We're pretty close to SpongeBob, and I really look at this game, to me, as the third last game of the year, which maybe doesn't mean too much, but we're almost done. The tsunami has absolutely hit at the end of the year here, and we're finally settling. We don't have many games left, but I got to be real with you, okay? Of these last three, and in my three, SpongeBob, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and Metroid. Okay, now Metroid, a pretty special one. It's a special franchise, but I got to be real. I think SpongeBob is far and away number one in terms of my most anticipated of those three games. I was really looking forward to this game before I played the demo, and I made a demo impressions video. If you guys want to check that out, I just went into great detail of what I thought. But let me tell you, and we'll put some of that in this video as well. The demo blew me away. But I will say, even if the demo wasn't around, I think this really is the studio's chance to take everything that they've learned after, quite a bit, right? Like, you do a remake of a very classic and perhaps the best SpongeBob game, and also just like a really good platformer too, by the way. It's not just like the best SpongeBob game, it's just like a really good game in general. And then, they tried their shot, or they took their shot with a Cosmic Shake, and the Cosmic Shake was definitely, I would say, like rock solid game, maybe even a good game, but it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't anything super special. I think they kind of needed to do something like that, though, just to get their feet wet, right? Just because you remake a game, you're definitely more familiar with the stuff than like anybody else would be, but it doesn't mean you're 100% ready, I guess, to just like go out there and do your own thing. Now, they were ready and they did it, and they did pretty good, but this always has felt, whether it was over the summer, there was a lot of gameplay of Titans of the Tide that was being floated around, or, again, then there was the demo. And I think what it's proven to me, and yeah, it's only like a 30-40 minute demo, but it's okay, this is the best of Purple Lamp. This is the best of these SpongeBob games. This is, this is everything that they've learned up until this point put into this game. It's easily, I cannot imagine that this is going to be lower than Cosmic Shake. I think this is going to be their best SpongeBob game, and I would not be shocked in the slightest. In fact, it's almost an expectation at this point if it was a top 2, top 3 SpongeBob game of all time, maybe even top 1. Like, maybe, like, to me, it is Battle for Bikini Bottom. Like, that's my favorite one. Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, I actually really liked, but I don't know if like general consensus is up there for that game. So for me, it's like, it's not an impossible bar to reach, to be real with you. Like, it's a good platformer. It needs to have kind of that SpongeBob feel and just be a good game overall, and I think they can do it. I think they can make the best SpongeBob game of all time. But so far, I mean, the game looks to and also has played like this in the time that I got to play it. It looks visually insanely good, right? And the cutscenes have the feel of the show. I think actually what it does, to boil it down, is it's never felt more like SpongeBob, because the cutscenes resemble it. And I think the gameplay is just taking all the best lessons that they've learned so far, from platforming to just the feel of these characters like SpongeBob and Patrick, how like dodging and movement works, and enemy variety, and just the different move sets that these two characters have. The thing I always say, like, for games like this, really, I think what it needs to do, kind of the special sauce, is just not getting old, not overstaying your welcome, not being a 20-30 hour game. You keep it at the level that you think, so maybe that's an 8 to 10 hour thing, and then you just flood that with as much, personality and diversity as you can. And that's locations, that's characters, that's enemies, that's bosses, that's moves, like learning new things and making the movement and making the fighting a little bit different in hour 6 than it is in hour 1. That's how you do these games. Now, it's easier said than done. I mean, that's a general blueprint, but it obviously goes much deeper than that. But again, from what we've seen that. We've seen the SpongeBob feel, we've seen the style, we've seen the characters, the new and old, right? You have like the classics, and then even like Cassandra from the last SpongeBob game, her being put into this game. Bosses with like mini bosses with health bars, that kind of have some diversity to it. You see that in the first like 10 minutes in the demo, which which is the beginning of the game. They kind of cut a couple different areas, but you see in the demo, I think, really everything that I've already talked about. It's really just, okay, can you do that demo, and then can you extend that over a 7 to 9 hour campaign? Because that showed, like, okay, there's comedy, there's, the voice cast should never be doubted, right? Like, they're legends. It is different, like, hearing Tom Kenny now versus like 25 years ago. His voice has naturally changed, and I think the laughter, and I think playing him, that's going to kind of wreck your vocals at a certain point, but they all still sound like them, and there's just so much charisma to it. You can't go wrong with literally any of them, right? So, like, that's always going to be there. It's the writing, and the writing, I think, was really, really good so far in the demo. I love the idea of, like, Neptune versus the Flying Dutchman. Again, like, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman is probably my second favorite SpongeBob game. I love the actor. I love the just the visual look of those characters, and you can really like them two going up against each other. I think you can really see how that can play out in terms of, like, variety of locations and gameplay and colors, even like just how it visually looks. I think that's a great pairing. And even just the demo originally or initially, it starts off just like an episode. Like, it has the vibe where it's like, or even a movie. I mean, probably a movie, right? Where it's like you're setting off to just watch the SpongeBob tale, and they're going to tell it through a game. And you're going to go around, you're going to platform, and you're going to do some collectathon stuff, but you're also going to fight, and that has a little bit more depth than what we're used to the last go around. So I'm impressed with what I was able to play. I'm impressed with everything that we've seen up until this point, from trailers to gameplay. Everything about this game is looking so unbelievably good. So I'm really, like, to quote SpongeBob, like, I'm ready. I really am. I'm going to go back and play Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated and do a video on that, just to really get back into that mindset. But I'm so pumped for this game, and I'm definitely more pumped than I was before that demo, because that demo made me think, oh yeah, we are in for one of the greatest SpongeBob games of all time. And again, it's not even just, oh, it's a good SpongeBob game, but it's like a subpar video game. No, these games can be, like, legitimately great games, and then just, coincidentally be a SpongeBob thing. They can do both, and I really think that's what we're going to get here. It's going to be a great game, and it's also a SpongeBob game, which kind of fits criteria, right? So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.